Here we go.
We can't bang on the table either, just because it goes through the mics.
It goes through the mics.
Welcome to another exciting edition of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL. And folks, we are online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com, sponsored by AVET Project. People, this program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please, get comfortable, grab a nice beverage, and don't forget your pen and paper, because we're always efforting to bring you important information that you can use and share with others. With that said, let's roll down the runway and get this show off the ground. You all know me, I'm Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project. But you also know that I never fly through the airwaves alone. My regular co-host, Glenn McGuffey, is away today on some much-deserved vacation, but he'll be back again next week as we interview Undersecretary for Benefits in the VA. This is the second highest ranking person within the VA, Allison Hickey, who happens to be a retired one-star general from the Air Force. So until next week, Glenn's going to be out there having fun, enjoying some vacay. Today, though, I am pleased to introduce a very qualified stand-in, Kimberly Benton. Hi, Kimberly.
Good morning, Garen. My name is Kimberly Benton. I'm a United States Marine. Out now. I was a small arms repair. I don't know if you qualify a 50 cal machine gun, small arm. Well,
exactly.
In comparison to howitzer, maybe. But it's my pleasure to be here this morning with you.
Well, thank you so much. So everybody that's listening in, yeah, you haven't got me and Glenn's old tired voices today. We got some fresh blood. And Kimberly, thank you so much for your service to our country and the fact that you continue to help your brothers and sisters in arms. And we'll get to some of that. Well, let's take a minute right now. You said you're a Marine. You were a small arms technician back in the 90s?
Yes, Garen, I was. I served during the Bosnia conflict. I spent most of my time training other Marines. I loved being a field armor, serving with our snipers and grunts. Great people, my favorite. I miss it, love it, and I support all of our service members still to this day in all their endeavors. I know it's a new Marine Corps, a new service world with technology and everything changing, but many of the problems that they're having have been existing problems that we've had.
Outstanding. Well, thank you for being here. Really, truly appreciate it, because I always like to have fresh voices whenever Glenn's out. And I think when we get to the heart of the matter here, talking about some reintegration issues and jobs, I want to get some input from you on that. Right now, we have a guest on the line, and she is none other than Britta Hawkins with Space Coast Community Law School. Britta, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hey, Garen, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for spending a couple minutes with us on American Warrior Radio today. For those of you that don't know, Britta Hawkins with the law firm Telfer, Faraday, Anderson & Hawkins right there in Titusville, and she also has an office in Cocoa, has spearheaded the Space Coast Community Law School for many, many years now. And how many years has it been, Britta?
I've been now operating for 6 years.
6 years. Give the folks out there in American Warrior Radio land, especially here on the Space Coast, if you're within the terrestrial signal reach, you need to make it to these free, say that word,
Free.
legal information seminars. And so what do we got coming up, Britta?
Well, we're going to talk about this coming Thursday's intellectual property, which is basically your ideas and things that you can really grasp and put to protect those.
Okay, so on the 14th, we've got intellectual property, and as you were saying, if somebody has something they've created, whether it's in written form or song form, or even a material object, they can potentially get a registered trademark or service mark or copyright.
Right, they can protect that there. And that's going to happen on the 14th. On the 21st, we're going to have for our county planning and zoning by Joe Carroll. Then on the 28th, we have review of the First Amendment to existing finance by Judge John Murphy.
That should be an exciting one.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. And we are closing out on June 4th with the U.S. Constitution and Contemporaneous Issues by Judge David Silverman. And so I'm really looking forward to that as well. And those are some general education topics, and the other ones do pertain, the other ones that we addressed so far, they do pertain to households and everybody.
Exactly, and you were talking about planning and zoning, so if somebody was curious as to how high they can build their fence and not get in trouble with the law, that'd be a good seminar to attend.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Just quite French and Roland if you want to have a gate, that the gate is taller than the fence and where the gate has to be to the property line. It's quite intricate.
Exactly, so
It affects everyone.
exactly. So Britta, I'm a listener to American Warrior Radio out there, and I've got my pen and paper in hand, and I want to avail myself of these free legal information seminars. How do I do it? What do I need to do?
Well, you can do it one of two ways. You can either go to our website at www.sccls.com, or you can call my office at 321-269-6833. You can register either way, and pre-registration is suggested because right now we are located, the seminars are held at the state attorney's office, which is a smaller venue, so we do have room for probably about 40, 45 people, but in the times we do have that many people, so please pre-register so also we can prepare a folder and an outline for you.
Exactly, and exactly. You have a folder that they can put the outlines in and attend the other classes. And you mentioned the term. We're a little more than halfway through the spring term, the only term that you're offering this year with Space Coast Community Law School. And Kimberly, give them that website again.
It is www.sccls.com.
And the phone number one more time.
It's 321-269-6833.
Britta, thank you so much for joining us on American Warrior Radio. And I got to tell you, you've been doing this for 6 years. You're a phenomenal woman. I really appreciate it. And the community, hats off to you from the community for providing this. And hopefully we'll speak to you again before the term's out.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Very much.
You bet. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Again, that's Britta Hawkins with the law firm Telfer, Faraday, Anderson & Hawkins. Give them the number one more time to her office in case they have any issue legal that they need help with.
It's 321-269-6833.
Awesome. Okay, so we got a lot to cover. Our desk is filled with great information. At the bottom of the hour, the second segment, we're going to have that's AVET Projects Director of Counseling, Joanne Ivins, with her regular segment, Journey of the Spirit. But let's talk about some really cool stuff that, again, is free. That's our benchmark word, right?
Free.
Free. Okay, this is a free lunch and healthcare and TRICARE benefits seminars coming up this Tuesday, May 12th at the Indian River Colony Club from 11:30 to 1, right at the lunch hour. It's easy to get to the IRCC, Indian River Colony Club. It's right there at 1936 Freedom Drive in Melbourne. It's free lunch, people. Come out, enjoy the afternoon with us, get some great information on not just TRICARE, but other healthcare and VA benefits. And then the following day, Kimberly, where are we doing it?
They're also having one on the 13th at 11:30 to 1 p.m. And it's going to be at the Cocoa Beach Country Club at 5000 Tom Warner Boulevard in Cocoa Beach.
And I want to mention this is going to be sponsored by Balanced RX. These are great people doing good things, not just for our vets, but anybody that has some decent health insurance coverage. If you are interested in the products that they offer, which treat everything from pain, migraine, scars, stretch marks, whatever the issue might be, they probably have a compound, that's right, a compound, real medicine that will help alleviate those problems. I want to give you his number. It's, jot this down please, Balanced RX, Paul, 229-886-1181. That's 229-886-1181. Call Paul. Tell him what your situation is. You'll have a doctor call back, but then guess what? You'll end up with your meds coming right to you in the mail in a refrigerated box. And this stuff really works. So we're getting those seminars out there. May 12th, Indian River Colony Club, 11:30 to 1. And then?
On the 13th at 11:30 to 1 p.m. at the Cocoa Beach Country Club.
Okay, so that's some of the stuff that's going on, but we got a busy week, By the way, I want to mention, you'll see the ads in Senior Life, their Stripes edition, for the free lunch and health benefits seminar. So check that out. It has both of them. It's also in Viera Voice, and we had a wonderful piece done by Hometown News, Kimberly. I don't know if you saw that, but hats off to the Hometown News people for giving AVET Project and what we're doing to help our vets and our community as a whole, right there, front page coverage.
Oh, I can't believe I haven't seen it yet, Garen. We have it delivered at my office at work. I'll have to pick one up Monday morning and look at it.
Please do. It's a phenomenal job. Thank you, Hometown News, which also awarded WMEL many awards. These are awards that are based on the listeners out there choosing who they want to listen to, and WMEL raked in a whole bunch of awards. So check that on 1300WMEL.com. Okay, so we're going through the week. A week from today, this is May 16th, it's Armed Forces Day. What do we got going on that is also free?
From 6 to 9 at the Cocoa Beach Country Club on May 16th at Tom Warner Boulevard. They're going to have food, a cash bar, military speakers, Aquanauts band, resources, and a 50-50, silent auctions, and a veteran surfing film. That would be fun.
This is when the guys that were catastrophically disabled, maybe lost a limb or so, came to Cocoa Beach and did surfing. Well, a great gal, Dr. Diane, if you're listening, and I know you are, thank you for the good work. She made a video documentary that we're going to have a free screening of, so that's kind of the feature highlight. But we got some speakers too.
Oh yes, Dr. Scott Fairchild, who I know personally, who does great work with the vets. He's going to be a guest speaker. That's pretty awesome. I guess I'll have to be there when I go.
Yes, you will.
And Jim Dubé, retired commander of the Coast Guard at Port Canaveral.
And we've got some other people. Just pop on in. The Marines are going to be there. Yeah, that's right. So it's going to be a fun time. I need you to mark your calendars, okay? Whatever it takes, get out there. The venue is just beautiful. Cocoa Beach Country Club out at the end of Minuteman Causeway. You just drive to the very end. You can't miss it. And that's 6 to 9 p.m. You don't have to stay the whole time, but you get yourself out there. What should they dress like?
It says that we need to be wearing our red, white, and blue, and we also need to RSVP with Miss Kim at avetproject.com.
Excellent.
Or .org, I stand corrected.
.org. Kim at avetproject.org, because we need to know how many people are coming. There's only so much space, but there's 50-50, and then there's giveaways and raffle prizes and stuff. But listen, everybody, we don't stop there. A week from tomorrow, on May 17th, Kids on the Water. You heard about this earlier today on Captain Jim Ross's Catch a Memory Outdoors show. All right, we still need anglers to help the kids because we've got over 120 kids registered. AVET Project was overjoyed to get a grant from Fish, Florida. So as the kids come out to the event, which is right on Front Lake is what it's called there at Wickham Park. Wickham Park. What's the address of Wickham Park there anyway?
Oh, Wickham Park is at 2500 Parkway Drive.
And what are the times that we're going to be running this?
From 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay, it's limited to the first 200 kids. This is a big family event. We want everybody to get away from the TV and the video games and come out and grab some fresh air, be out there among other people that love this country. You don't have to be a vet or a military member, Kimberly. We want everybody to come out.
Well, I think we'll drag TJ out there. We already took away the Xbox.
Excellent. And Home Depot, one of our sponsors, is going to be there as well with some really neat kits. They always do something really neat, whether it's a birdhouse or what have you. They'll be able to build them and take the kids home with them as a reminder of the day and the fun that they had. Vendors, we got food vendors, we've got fun things for the kids to do and see. Just a tremendous fun time. And how we need RSVPs on that too. How do they contact?
We need to get to kim@avetproject.org again, so she can make sure that you're reserved since there is limited space.
Exactly, kim@avetproject.org. Now, if you are an angler, if you're a fisherman or a fisher gal, and you want to help us help these kids, because we're going to teach them some fishing fundamentals. You know, how to tie knots, how to select bait, how to properly cast these awesome these spinning rods. Then come on, get on board. The number 321-373-7046. If you're an angler and you want to help us help the kids, please call AVET Project. If you get the machine, just leave your name and a number and we'll call you back. 321-373-7046. We still need a bunch because we're expecting like 200 kids. And Kimberly, the beauty of it is when the kids get done with their fishing and there's, what are some of the other activities that we got going on there?
Well, it looks like we've got water safety, which you can never be short of if you've been at the beach and you've seen some of the things I've seen. And then the surfing, kayaking, paddle boards, health, and more hands-on activities. So there's going to be more sufficient things for the children to do. They'll be busy.
You bet. If your kids are ages 3 to 17, definitely get them enrolled. Okay, make your reservation now. kim@avetproject.org. If you're an angler and you want to help us help the kids, please call AVET Project's office, 321-373-7046, and we'll get back to you because we got 200 kids coming out.
That's a lot of little ones. I think I need one of those anglers to show me some tricks now that I'm a Floridian.
It's going to be a fun time, everybody, so please mark your calendar. That's May 17th. Kids on the Water at Wickham Park, and we want to thank the generous people and the hardworking people at Brevard County Parks. In particular, Tanya, you're doing a phenomenal job. I know you're listening out there today, too. And special thanks, obviously, to Home Depot, Safety Susie, Macaroni Kids, the Melbourne and Cocoa Chambers, as well as Joe Rowlett at the YMCA. He's going to have some cool things set up. Big, big event. It's going to be beautiful. Week from tomorrow, May 17th. Okay, so that's just a whole lot going on, and we're coming to a break almost in just a matter of 5 minutes. So let's talk about something that I can't tell the folks out there enough about. As our military men and women leave active duty, whether it's from disability, whether it's expiration of term of service, they serve their time and they're ready to get out and start something new, or maybe they're longevity retirees. They've done their 20 and they're starting life over again. They have to be employed. You got to have a job. And
it's a challenge. There's nothing. I know they're trying to put together better transitional programs for our service members. But I have to honestly say, from my point of view, I really struggled. You know, I was a 4-year enlistee. Would have loved to re-enlist, but, life happens, and I was asked to. But when I went to transfer into civilian life, I found a lot of challenges. Like, I didn't even know when people would ask me, oh, what's your name? You automatically want to say, hey, Benton,
Last name first, just like in the military.
That's right. And it took me a while. And acclimating to civilian lifestyle was a challenge, too. Because we're taught a different code of ethics and mannerisms, and the civilian world isn't prepared for this. And you're not prepared for it when you go into the civilian world. So
this is coming from a gal that experienced this firsthand, okay? You got to appreciate that, all you listeners out there. So you had those obstacles, and I have to throw this in there because it was very upsetting to me. But again, when the surf kids were in town, like I said, a week from today, the free screening at the Armed Forces Day celebration, Cocoa Beach Country Club, 6 o'clock. Be there. Well, while that video was being filmed, one of the events was these warriors were lined up against the wall, and a particular man, I'm not going to mention his name, was walking by saying, thank you for your service. And here's this wonderful female veteran. He passed right by her as if she wasn't even a veteran.
Oh.
Has that happened to you?
Oh, yeah, it happens all the time.
You're a woman. You couldn't be a veteran, right?
Well, yes. A matter of fact, when John and I are out in public, he'll bring it to everybody's attention that I was a Marine veteran as well. When I got out and I finally got acclimated, I went into healthcare, because we all know machine gun repairmen, there's not a high demand for that in the civilian sector. So due to, some family issues, I got involved in healthcare. And when I did, I would go into private homes. And there was definitely a demographic difference. When I was into the higher income areas and they would see Marine Corps on my vehicle, I'd get, oh, your husband was a Marine?
Uh-huh.
And, you know, you have to be polite and bite your tongue because you're in the service industry. But when I would go into the lower income areas, into the projects, into the hoods, you know, they would come out and be like, oh, you were a Marine, because a lot of their young loved ones were coming up in the ROTC, and the young ladies, a lot of them were joining the service. So it was more commonplace for them to accept the fact that the female was the actual Marine and the veteran.
Sure, and I wanna just stress this. I'm gonna make a quick segue, I guess, to GI Jobs. It's a magazine that's out there helping the troops find their way to reintegrate back into civilian life after serving our country. One particular piece of advice, and this is again from GI Jobs, the question was, what's the most overlooked aspect of military transition? The answer? This gentleman says, failure to start early enough, building networks, support groups, and financial reserves. You agree with that?
I agree with that, and that is a tough issue to address when you're coming out, because these service members are going all kinds of places. They're not necessarily going home, but if they are going home to their, you know, home of record, which all the military people will know what that is, you're a different person. You've changed. Once you go through that military experience, you do change. You know, your qualities, your character. Some do transition a little better than others. I mean, but I cannot overemphasize, when you are transitioning, you need to get out there, you know, just in general when you move. Get out there, volunteer with a place
Great
like
idea.
AVET. You know,
AVET
volunteer in
project's
your local
always a good
government.
place. You bet.
You
Yep.
can network there, even if you're going to a territory or part of the world, country that you've never been before. This is how you get acclimated and meet people. And that's hard to do when they're still on active duty, you know, unless they know for sure where they're going. Then they can go ahead, you know, we have the internet now, which, you know, you can reach out that way.
Very useful tool. Well, we're coming to the close of the first segment here on American Warrior Radio. I want to throw this out there. If you know somebody, or maybe you yourself are looking for a job and you happen to be a veteran, there's some big car makers out there right now that are recruiting you, or that person that you know, whether they're a friend, relative, churchgoer, co-worker. Go to, I'll just jot this number down. This is for Audi, that big sports car company, 855-399-1682. They want to hire you if you're a veteran. 855-399-1682. There will be more American Warrior Radio coming right at you after the break. Don't go anywhere.